Welcome to Living the Empowered Life podcast. I'm Tamiko Laurie Pugh, also known as the Empowering Diva. Each week, you'll hear inspirational interviews as well as actionable tips and strategies that you can implement into your daily life to help you live a life of passion, purpose, and potential. Thanks for spending time with me today. Now let's jump into today's episode of Living the Empowered Life. You are listening to Living the Empowered Life podcast with the Empowering Diva, Tamiko Laurie Pugh. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me first say this. The Living the Empowered Life podcast is long overdue. I mean, it is way overdue. You see, I had this on my agenda to launch in 2018. I also set it as a goal in 2019. I know you're wondering what happened. I'm glad you asked. You see, I allowed fear and procrastination to take over my mindset. How many of you know that fear and procrastination are the enemy of success? They are the enemy of success, and they almost had me. But guess what? I'm here. And so this year, I decided to turn my fear into fortitude and procrastination into action. And so I will share more tips on how I did that in a later episode of Living the Empowered Life. But for now, I just want you to get to know me a little bit, find out who I am, what I do, and why I launched this podcast. So for those of you who don't know me, if you're just getting to know me and you want to know a little bit more about me, I am Tamiko Laurie Pugh, affectionately called the Empowering Diva by many of my friends and colleagues, and I'll explain that in another episode of the podcast. Who is she? Who is the Empowering Diva? The Empowering Diva is a wife. She's a mom, a sister, a friend, and a lover of all things empowering. And so that's who I am personally. Professionally, I'm a best-selling author. My first book, Wounds to Wisdom, I'm Still Standing, became an Amazon #1 bestseller. I'm kind of proud of that, considering that I was a first-time author and my book actually hit the Amazon bestseller list and it became #1. So I'm an author. I am a creator of the empowerment formula. And this is a formula that I created. It is a 6-step process to help you to live an empowered life. I'm the CEO of Empower Me Life Coaching and Consulting. That is a personal development and lifestyle enhancement firm for women. So through that company is where I do all my life coaching and consulting and things of that nature. I'm the CEO of Still Standing Publishing Company. We're a book publishing company that publishes memoirs and self-help books for women who have inspirational stories of overcoming life's adversities. I'm also the founder and the executive director of the Still Standing Alliance, which is a nonprofit organization that focuses on domestic violence advocacy, awareness, and prevention. And you'll hear more about the Still Standing Alliance and the work that I do as it relates to domestic violence awareness throughout the podcast. That is something that is very near and dear to my heart. My life motto is simply this. My life motto is to impact the world through speaking, teaching, coaching, and advocacy. And so in a nutshell, that's who Tamiko Laurie Pugh, the Empowering Diva, is. And so why did I create this podcast? Why did I create Living the Empowered Life? See, I created this podcast because as a survivor of domestic violence and other life-altering circumstances, I wanted to create a platform for women like myself to obtain the necessary tools and tips that are required to help you to take your power back. I know what it's like to lose my power. I know what it's like to feel wounded and to feel hurt and to feel broken. And so I wanted to create this platform to help women to take their power back. So many of us are wounded. I know because I've been there. Physically, we're wounded physically. We're wounded emotionally, mentally, financially. Some of us have even been wounded spiritually. And so I'm here to tell you today that just because you've been wounded, those bumps and bruises don't have to leave you broken. So again, welcome to the Living the Empowered Life podcast, where each week you'll hear inspirational interviews as well as actionable tips and strategies that you can implement into your daily life to help you live a life of passion, purpose, and potential. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. So ladies, listen. It's time to discover and live your life purpose. It's time to value yourself. It's time to set goals that are going to move you forward in life. It's time to rebuild your confidence. It's time to fearlessly walk in your authentic power. And ladies, it's time to live the empowered life.